Hey, everybody, welcome back to Pop Culture Warrior. I am super excited for tonight's guest. My guest tonight has been going full tilt from a very young age. He started his career as a gymnast at just 4 years old. He climbed the ranks and became a national gold medalist for Great Britain. He retired at 17 and turned his attention to soccer, becoming a semi-pro player at just 19 years old. From there, it was on to live action shows, performing stunts, as well as worldwide modeling campaigns and commercials before he decided to turn his skills towards being a professional stunt performer. Over the course of 4 years, he trained in various disciplines such as kickboxing, swimming, the 10-meter high dive, the gymnastics, trampolining, and scuba diving. Since then, he has performed in over 50 full-length feature movies, working closely with some of the biggest names in Hollywood. If you've seen any action film over the last decade, you've definitely seen this man at work. His career has seen him winning 8 SAG Awards, 1 Critics' Choice Award, 2 Emmy Awards, and 2 Taurus World Stunt Award nominations. So everybody, woo! Please give a warm welcome to tonight's guest, the incredible Bobby Holland Hanton, everybody. Woo! How's it going, man?
Hey, buddy.
How you doing? You're calling in from across the pond, way out over there. So first of all, there's a lot more light in here than usual because I do my show at night. So I appreciate you calling in to do this, man.
No worries. Thanks for having me, mate. It's always an honor to jump on and have a chat. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know we've got you for a short amount of time. You're right about to hit training, so I appreciate you taking the time. I'm going to hit you with some good ones. So first and foremost, I ask every guest the same question. Do you have and what is your connection to the military? Either ours or yours or anyone's.
I don't actually have a personal connection. I've worked with a fair amount of military advisors and weapons specialists on films that I've worked on, which they're always absolutely amazing to have on set with their knowledge and experience to bring the movie alive as far as weapons and whatever that may be. So yeah, we've been lucky enough to work with some good military advisors.
Outstanding. Yeah, there are a lot of guys, that's the kind of the dream. You get out of the service and then, you can use it for some type of really cool thing versus like, I don't know, bodyguarding or security, mall security or something like that. So that's
absolutely
awesome. Those guys have those opportunities.
It's a great segue in,
Yeah, absolutely. And so, I mean, you gymnastics is a huge part of your background, and I watched a couple of your interviews, and you talk so passionately about it, and it was such a huge part of your foundation. What makes it so critical and so useful as a background foundational skill to do what you do now?
I mean, listen, gymnastics is hands down for me is the most important skill to have to be a successful stunt performer. That's what I believe. It's obviously my background: gymnastics, high diving, trampolining. That spatial awareness skill that you learn from a very young age that you can then take into stunts is second to none. I believe that, and also martial arts and all those type of things are so good for what I do now. And the crazy thing is, I started gymnastics at 4, and my only desire was to represent Great Britain in the Olympics. And my hero was Vitaly Sherbo from the Belarus, and that's all I wanted to do. And I didn't know that, working that hard from such a young age would put me in such good stead for what I do now. This stunts wasn't even on my radar, not till I was, 20, 21 years old. So gymnastics as a foundation has been absolutely incredible. Godsend.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of that too, the work ethic, right? That's built, that you got to get up early, you got to take care of your body. All those things are such valuable information for you, right?
Yeah, I mean, not just the skill itself, but the life skills of learning discipline from such a young age, and routine and that knowledge of young age of taking in hard work and pressure of competitions and stuff like that is just it's priceless. It's a priceless learning curve and skill to have from such a young age. And it just, it's definitely carried on throughout my adult years and, into what I do now for a living. So it's honestly is a huge benefit from such a young age. And I've, come late June, I have a children's book coming out, my first children's book, first time author, which I'm stoked to be able to say that and do that. It's been an incredible experience going through that process. And that book is all about young children, getting into sports and starting to eat better, and just a little bit of knowledge on that and at a young age, and just inspiration for a young child to want to be more physical and active and fitter and healthier. And it's important for me to try and get that message across. And, and what comes along with that is, the book's called The Adventures of Eddie and Flipboy, and Flipboy's a superhero and Eddie's a young little boy like I was, that, it was just crazy energy and didn't even know what discipline was, and just had lots of, energy and wanted to run around and do things. And, he watches this superhero on TV, and, he tries to do these skills and doesn't realize why he can't do them, which, that's a life lesson from a young age that I think is very valuable, that, you have to join a, martial arts club or a gymnastics club or whatever the skill may be to learn that and discipline and learn how to work hard and learn, you need to train, hard to be able to achieve those skills. And throughout that, he learns about discipline and he starts to tidy his room. He starts to brush his teeth. He starts to dress himself and brush his hair, all those simple skills at a young age, because, I just feel that it's so easy right now for young children to just pick up an iPad and sit on that for hours. And that's just what happens. That's our culture today. And, when we were kids, the same as you, I'm sure you'd be outside playing and, fitness and breathing in fresh air. And there's not enough of that now. And I just wanted to try and bring as much of that back as possible. And, that's what that book's about. And, it's about trying to, get kids to be more motivated to be healthier and fitter. So I'm excited for that to come out next month. And it's just basically what I went through as a young kid. And, it's better than, like I said, it's better than being on the iPad for 5 hours a day.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I'm so excited. I'm going to look for that. And I have a 5-year-old, so we're definitely going to dive into that.
Perfect, man.
That'd be great. So how did you, make that change? Because, you were doing the gymnastics, you did the semi-pro. I mean, we call it soccer, you call it football. But you go from that and then you kind of just fall backwards into, shooting commercials and then doing stunt work. I mean, what was that transition for you at that time?
Well, I think another key element to having that experience was live shows. At 19, when I finished playing semi-pro football, I started doing high diving shows and live stunt shows, acrobatic stunt shows, and getting that live experience. If something goes wrong, you got to think on your feet and just, carry on and try and make something up and try and cover it as best as possible. And that just puts you in great stead for what we do. And then, commercials, I got a taste for film and knowing that you could go again if it goes wrong. You don't want it to go wrong, but you can stop and go again, and cutting into things and edits and not having to do the full thing all the time and just, having to do bits and pieces to make the edit work. So, I learned a lot of valuable lessons very early on, and it just put me in great stead for when I was 23, to do my first stunt job, doubling Daniel Craig in Quantum of Solace. I think, if I'm totally honest with you, if I had got the opportunity at 21, I might not be doing what I'm doing now to the level I'm doing it at. I just think the timing was perfect. At 21, I was still kind of unsure and maybe a little bit leery and, just finding my feet as a kid would. I still class myself as a kid there at 21. So 23, just that small period longer, them extra 2 years just really made me kind of focus and want to learn from the best and just knuckle down, keep my head down and, be very respectful. And I think that's very important, having, on-set etiquette and film etiquette and knowing when to speak and when to learn and when to listen, which is all the time. And I'm just glad that it worked out timing wise for, 15 years later. And, I'm very proud and, very honored and, still shocks me now to take a step back and think about, the things I've achieved and the things I'm very proud of, because it's been nonstop for 15 years and, I'm very blessed.
Yeah. A lot of people, if they're going to get into this line of work, they had maybe a family member or a friend that was in it and kind of worked them into it. And, they cut their teeth on very small products. And it's like, oh, his first big credit is Quantum of Solace. You're James Bond, essentially. I mean, that's a huge entrance.
Yeah, and again, I didn't have that, none of my family were in the film game or TV or anything. So yeah, I was navigating my way through that as someone that couldn't go to any family members for advice. But I think the very fortunate thing I had very early on, and I'm still very lucky to have, the team that I work with on Quantum of Solace, most of that team are all like brothers to me. It was the best team to learn from at that time, and an incredible team that Gary Powell, the stunt coordinator, put together. The Glenn Fosters, Diz Sharp, Nicky Berwick, Lee Morrison, Ben Cook, the list just goes on and on and on. I'm so fortunate to get to work with the best and learn from the best straight away. And as I said, they're very close to me now. I'm very, very good friends of mine, like my brothers. And, that's a valuable lesson. Although I didn't have it in my family, I just knuckled down, kept my head down and learned from the best.
That's amazing. And I'm curious, that first time you're sitting in a theater and you're seeing your work up on the screen, you're seeing your name in the credits, what's that feeling like?
Incredible. And I think pinch yourself for a second, when I decided I wanted to train for the stunt register and become a professional stuntman in film or and TV, I wanted to just get onto the stunt register. That's hard enough as it is. And when I decided I wanted to do that at 21, to have that opportunity at 23 to go straight into the biggest job you can possibly do as a stunt performer was, even now, 15 years later, I think about that and I'm like, how on earth did that happen? And it's not about getting the job sometimes, it's about keeping it. And that was, to get that opportunity was absolutely incredible. And that doesn't happen to everyone every day. I feel so lucky and blessed for that. 100%, this incredible opportunity. But it was still up to me to be able to keep that and continue what I do and to continue what I do. And when you go in at that level and you learn from that at such a young age, you kind of go, where do I go from here? What's the next how do I repeat that kind of high? And how do I maybe achieve more than that? And I've been so lucky to be able to do that. I went on from there to America with Gary and got my SAG card and did Green Lantern on that, doubling Ryan Reynolds. Then I went on to Batman, The Dark Knight Rises with Chris Nolan. I played a small part in Inception with Nolan as well. And then I went on to meet Chris Hemsworth and became his stunt double in his contract for 10 years and got to double Thor and Captain America in Avengers Age of Ultron in one movie. So as much as you think, you've gone straight in at the top, what's next? Just keep working hard, keep focusing, keep going, because you keep working hard and you will be able to do more and achieve more. And that wasn't enough for me to just settle there. And I've always been like that. It's never enough to settle. There's always more. And I've been so fortunate to be able to do more and so proud of that. And, you mentioned in the intro there, nominated twice for tourists. I've actually been nominated 6 times now and won 2 this year, just gone. I won 2 for Extraction. So, that's a massive, massive, feat for me to achieve. And, I was nominated 4 times in one night, 1, 2 out of 3 categories. I was nominated twice in one category. And it was just, to be able to get that, it's our version of the Oscars. And it was a massive achievement for me to be able to do that. So, and Extraction was a massive movie for us. And, I'm very proud of the stuff we did there. So, I'm just one of them people that will never settle. And I get the itch, and there's more out there. There's always more. You keep working hard, you keep focusing, you keep having an ambition to do more. Then that is, it's around the corner. It's just about working hard and having that kind of discipline to keep pushing. There's
no peak to the mountain, right? You just keep climbing.
Keep climbing and try new things. I've just managed to do a film a few years back now, actually, because COVID caused a lot of issues, but with, my closest buddies, Damien Walters, Greg Townley, Paulo, all of these boys I've worked with for many years are very, very good friends of mine. Damien's one of my best pals. He directed and wrote an action comedy that we all do our own stunts in. We star in, and Matthew Vaughn picked that up. Matthew Vaughn's one of the biggest filmmakers in the world, in the UK. I love all of his films. He doesn't make a bad movie, and he's picked that up. He was, very impressed with that, and we hope to do a lot more with him. And, things are good. You got to keep pushing, and, you get these setbacks, all the time, but that's part of life. It's not about the setback. It's how you come back from that. So
wow, that's amazing.
I'm excited to see what the future holds.
That's so cool. And I mean, you named some of them, but you've doubled for Henry Cavill, Chris Pine, Christian Bale, Daniel Craig, Ryan Reynolds, Channing Tatum, Jake Gyllenhaal. I mean, you've worn the suit of Thor, of Captain America, James Bond in his, running around gear, and Batman. Like, I like, it's like every child's fantasy. You are a superhero through and through, not just on film in the costume, but in what you can physically do with your body. I've watched the highlight reels, man. It is ridiculous what you make your body do. I mean, could you have ever imagined this as a kid? Like, this would be your life, playing make-believe?
Never in a million years. I couldn't even, even if you put it in front of me, because I think it's more accessible now to be people are starting to learn a lot more about stunts because of, the social media and people, myself as well, like putting it out there, what we do. We're very proud of what we do. And the whole stunt community in the world are very proud of what we do. So it's much more accessible now. It's much more widely known. but as a kid, I didn't even know they existed. A lot, even into my teens, I didn't know stunt performers existed. So it would never have been on my radar. And to be able to sit here now and turning 38 next month, I couldn't have even imagined it. And I'm so proud and happy that I managed to be able to do what I do. And sometimes I guess you get caught up in the, life's fast and you're in the fast lanes constantly, guys. Not often I sit back and actually take a moment to think, wow, I'm excited and so, proud of what I've done so far. I keep saying that, but it's true. And I think that, I guess people never sit back and just take that in for a minute. It's not often I get much time off work, so I'm enjoying that right now. And it's been incredible, but it's never on my radar. I mean, I didn't even know what stunt performer was, and now I'm working with the best people in the world, so it's incredible. And just the experience that I've had with Chris in the last 10 years. He's one of my best buddies. He's like my family, his whole family. His mum and dad are like my second mum and dad. His whole family, his brothers, Luke and Liam, and this network of friends and that have become family to me is absolutely incredible. And those guys inspire me. Chris inspires me to do more and be a better person. And it's great to be able to associate with those kind of people. And you try and surround yourself with people that push you on and inspire you. And I'm very lucky to have such an incredibly great, huge network of great, inspiring, amazing friends. I feel very, very blessed.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, no, they say that the smartest people are the ones that surround themselves with the best people, the people that lift you up and make you a better person. So that's great that you get to do that. And
100%.
Since you don't get a chance to very often look back at your own work, I mean, you've been a part not of just, multiple MCU movies, multiple DC movies. You've been in the Bond franchise, the Harry Potter franchise, Sherlock Holmes, Star Wars, Game of Thrones, Mission Impossible, Men in Black, Pirates of the Caribbean. These are like the building blocks of the 21st century, the gold standard of action movies, of great characters, of great stories. I mean, is there a franchise that you haven't yet been in that you're dying to get into?
I don't, franchise wise, I think, like you said, I've been so fortunate to have done most of them, but there was one opportunity and I always wanted to do it, was to stunt double for Superman, to complete that magical 5, if you like, right? To me. And that would have been incredible. And I literally had that opportunity with a good friend of mine, stunt coordinator called Eunice Huthart, and she's incredible. She's now a stunt coordinator, second unit director. She used to be Angelina Jolie's stunt double. And she's very, very good friends with Angelina, and she's really pushed on in her career. And she did the Justice League, and she asked me to come on and double Superman. And I was going to go and do that, and that was going to complete it, but it actually clashed with Thor Ragnarok. The timing of it clashed, so I had to say no and had to, went out to Australia a bit earlier than what we first thought. And so that's probably the only one that I think stands out for me where I wish that had happened. And also I think I always wanted to stunt double for Brad Pitt, because I think that guy's one of the most incredible humans on the planet ever, and what a talented man he is, and incredible actor. Like he's so good at what he does in his craft. He's insanely talented. But that was probably one of the actors that I haven't doubled that I always hoped that I would. And that's kind of been on the radar maybe once or twice before, but never worked out, never happened. But otherwise, I think, I can't think of a franchise right now that, I think, again, like Game of Thrones. I used to watch that when I started to watch that series before I'd even worked on it. I then watched up till season. What did I watch it? I think I watched the season 2 or 3 or whatever it was, and I was just like, this show's incredible. I need to get on this show. And it turned out a very good friend of mine, Rowley Earlham's a stunt coordinator, and he's a good buddy of mine. He did the next season, so I got in touch with him and managed to go out and do 3 seasons of that. So, very, very lucky.
Yeah, and you did one of the most memorable scenes when the dragon breathes fire on all these guys. Like that was your first big fire scene, right? Like that.
Yeah, that was my first ever fire burn, and I think normally you're supposed to. Or what happens is you do a partial burn where it might be your legs on fire or your arms or your back, and went straight into a full body burn. But that again is credit to Rowley. He believed in what I could do, and he really kind of said, look, I believe you can do this. And I'd be a liar to say I wasn't nervous. It's one of those things. It's a real head. That's tough. That's something you really need to, you breathe in that fire and it's going to be, you're in some serious trouble. So, but he was like, listen, I wouldn't put you in this spot unless I knew that you could do this, and you need to believe in me and believe in yourself. And, I did that on the day, and the buzz was incredible, dude. I just wanted to go straight away again. I was like, put me on fire again. It was incredible. But yeah, I'm very proud of that. Very proud to be able to. And we were literally got licked with a flamethrower. It was actually a flamethrower, dude. It was insane.
Oh, that's so cool. I'm curious. We got a couple more minutes with you. Curious, what are your thoughts on actors doing their own stunts?
I mean, look, again, I've been so fortunate that I've doubled some of the most athletic actors out there. You know, Chris Evans is amazing and Channing's amazing. Chris Hemsworth is amazing at what they do. So it actually makes our job easier. You know, Tom Cruise is incredible work with him on Mission Impossible. If they want to do it, they're capable of doing it. And Chris, Chris wasn't a top actor, he'd be a top stunt performer. He really would. He's so athletic and he does things way better than I do. Some things, you know, certain things. So I just think that it comes down to being smart. It comes down to timing. It comes down to budget. You know, if an actor does something that they don't need to do and it doesn't benefit the film, it doesn't benefit the shot, and they do something that's risky and they get injured, that means that film has to go down. And it's happened before in the past, and the film stops for 3-4 months. That costs production a lot of money, because that means the finish date gets pushed. The locations might not be available. The release of the film gets pushed. It can be really expensive. And also there might not be time. You know, we shoot big action movies, and there's main unit, which is the talking heads, the acting unit. Second unit's the action unit. Then sometimes there's a third unit, splinter unit, and then fourth unit where they just shoot inserts. It has to be done properly. And if you get the top producers that know, they've done it before, they have great experience in that, and they're smart about it, you'll finish on time, you'll finish on budget, you'll and you'll keep your actors safe. And that's important. It's important for us as stunt performers to keep our actors safe. And like I said, I've got such a great relationship with Chris, and we've done nearly 15 films together, I think now, and we understand each other. I know what he wants, I know what he needs. He knows what he wants from me, and it just makes it a great working relationship. And you know, we work so good together. And you know, you wait till you see the new Extraction. Like, it's all Chris. He's incredible. It's absolutely incredible.
I'm excited. I'm dying to see it. I know we've been kept pushing this off so you guys could finish filming that. So I'm finally glad we got to do this. You know, we touched on it just a bit in that. For the longest time, stunts wasn't really something that was given a lot of credence to. It's kind of put on the back burner. You know, people ignored it. We're starting to see it appreciated a little bit more, but it's still, I mean, you look at some of these award shows and it's still, best for costuming, best for special effects. There still isn't a lot of, I don't want to say respect. I don't think that's the right word. There's still not a lot of credit given to the stunt work, because you take these stunts out of the movies get a lot more boring. I'll tell you that. So how do you feel about it? That there needs to be more recognition for it, or are we getting there, or do we still have a long way to go?
Listen, I certainly feel like we're moving in the right direction. Maybe it's a little slower than what we would all like. You know, I think sometimes we take 5 steps forward, 2 steps back. But in all honesty, I think, you know, and you have actors like Brad Pitt, who won his Oscar for that stunt movie that he did, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. And, you know, he what a legend to call that out and say, look, the stunt guys need to be recognized. Stunt guys and women need to be recognized at what they do. And it's about time. It should have happened a long time ago. It hasn't. I don't know the answer why. I really don't understand why. But it's got to happen. It should happen. It should have happened a long time ago. I just hope that it will happen. I think it's deserved. And, you know, like you said, if you make an action movie, you take us out of it and, you know, you don't have an action movie. So I totally agree. And I just think it's well overdue. But let's hope it changes. I think, you know, the more we push it, the more we push things on social media, you know, we get, you know, the more actors help out with recognition and shout outs. Chris has always been phenomenal and so good to me, and always appreciate what I do. And he posts that on his social medias, and, you know, it gets us out there, gets us recognized. And I think at some point there has to be, have to be a change in what's happening right now, especially the Oscars.
Absolutely. And guys like yourself being so vocal about it and being so open and honest with the work. I think for the longest times, a lot of the people in the backgrounds were just kind of willing to, like, I'll do the work, I'll get paid, and I'll shut up. But you got to be vocal, and you got to speak up for those that deserve that recognition. And you're doing an amazing job with that. Thank you. The last thing I want to ask you too, because I know we got to go, you know, you put your body on the line, and all these guys put their body on the line. I know for a fact you've had a number of surgeries. Can you tell us some of, like, the biggest hits you've taken, the worst injuries you've gotten, and kind of what's that done to your body doing this kind of work?
Yeah, I think, listen, I think it all stems from me being 4 years old and started gymnastics. That takes a big toll on your body. From the age of 4 to 17, to the level that I did it and the intensity that I did it, 5-6 days a week, 3, 4, 5 hours a session from such a young age. That takes a toll. And, you know, then getting into stunts, my whole life, I always say this, I feel like I've had a life in a physical degree. a lifetime of a physical degree. That's what it feels like, you know, and it still doesn't stop now. But it has taken a toll, and it's, you know, it will continue to take a toll, and that's the decision I made. But you know, it's part and parcel of what we do. Is, unfortunately, you do pick up injuries. As much as we try and make it as safe as we possibly can with time and rehearsals and breaking down the stunts into small increments and building up in small increments. You know, it's what it is, and you know, we just try and take care of our bodies the best way we can. We eat well, we train, we try and brush up on our skills, and you know, I have had some bad injuries, and you know, I've come back from them. So it's, you know, it's also a mental game as well. It's a mindset, and it's tough. I'm not going to lie. There's times when you feel down, and am I ever going to recover from this? And you know, luckily I have. So you know, that's it can take its toll, and the older you get, the longer it takes to come back. That's for sure.
Outstanding. All right, last question. Chris Hemsworth is too perfect. Give us some dirt on him. Mate, where's he fault?
That's what we say to him all the time. We're like, you're not a human person. You're like a robot. He is perfect, mate. He's more than perfect. He's beyond that. He's, you know, not only is he one of the best actors around, you know, he's the biggest movie star, and you know, the most athletic, and you know, takes care of his friends and family more than you'd ever could imagine. He's, you know, he helps charities out. He's the best husband, the best dad. Like, he's one of the best friends. Like, he's top, mate. He's just one of those. You know, if you're in his life, you're a very lucky person. He's one of those guys, and you know, he's absolutely incredible.
Oh, it's not fair. It's not fair. You know, when I look at my life and I go, man, so many things are wrong. I'm like, well, because he took it all. He took all of it.
He took it all, mate. He didn't leave anything for anyone else.
He doesn't. Okay, where can people follow you? What do you have coming up that they can support you on? They can look for you on? What do you got?
Yeah, so anyone can go and follow me on Instagram, BobbyDazzler84. On TikTok, Bobby Holland Hanton. I have a children's book coming out late June, around the 20th of June. So if people follow my socials and they want to, you know, get the book and help a first-time author, because hopefully I'd like to make a series of these and bring a superhero girl into it. And I think we can get a really good message across, you know, if we do well with book sales. So, you know, people follow my social medias. We got some big things coming up. We have our action movie coming out very soon, or hopefully this year at some point, that Matthew Vaughn is producing and will be releasing, called School Fight. So we've got Thor coming out in July, and we've got Extraction. It's probably at the end of the year, hopefully, or the beginning of next. So we've got a lot of exciting things, and you know, Centre is taking off, and we've got some really cool programs and more stuff to come with Centre. So there's some really exciting times, and yeah, if anyone wants to go and follow that and check out me being basically a stupid idiot and just messing about and having fun, because I'm a big fat kid. So that's fine. That's how I like to hang about and mess about, and you know, yeah, go and check it out.
Awesome, man. And I have so much more I want to ask you, but we're going to save that for a part 2, because I know you got to get out there. You got to work that body. You got to get right. So thank you, Bobby, so much for taking the time. I really appreciate it. I look forward to our next sit down where we'll really dive into some of your work.
We will.
Because I'm excited about it. I'll give you the last couple seconds here to say goodbye to the audience, and then we will toss it to a break.
Guys, thank you very much for having me, mate. Appreciate it. And like you said, we'll catch up again soon. Hopefully we've got some big things to come. So
awesome, man. Super excited. All right, guys, we'll be right back after this.
Yeah.